What up, YouTube? This is Steven, and welcome back to another photo analysis. This time, I'll be analyzing the covers of BoA's single, Lookbook. Let's begin with the CD-only version of the single cover. So, when you look at the single cover, you notice that it's a beauty shot. Okay, alright, we get to see BoA's lovely visage on a single cover. Alright, that seems like, a good idea. Except I kind of have an issue with this single cover because it's mainly because of the facial expression or lack of facial expression on BoA's face. Like, I wish she would have had more of a feeling, more of an emotion behind her look. She looks a little vacant, like she's not really thinking about anything. And I'm sure BoA has thoughts about many things, but it doesn't come off that way when you look at the single cover, you know? Also, she lost her neck in the photo. Not a good look. As well, her hand looks a little, I don't know, it doesn't look as feminine as I would like for it to look. Her hand looks a little witchy, like kind of like a hand that a witch would have. And it's mainly because of, the bones that are protruding in her hand. As well, if you look at her wrist, I don't know, it just didn't photograph as well as it could have. So ultimately, while I do think that BoA has a lovely face, I feel like this beauty shot sort of missed the mark. However, I will say that I like how BoA's eyes look. I like how her hair looks as well. However, for me, I think that the rings that she's wearing, I think that's actually a nice touch. Because without them, I think the photo might be a little too plain. Sometimes I often say less is more, but in this situation, I think they worked, like, the more actually worked to the advantage of the photo. Oftentimes more does not. But in this case, it did. And also I noticed that it looks like BoA is topless in the photo as well. I kind of wish they would have showcased that a little bit more. That would have kind of made the photo a bit more dynamic and even kind of like played with the viewer's imagination a little bit. Alright, let's move on to the next single cover. This single cover is the cover for the CD plus DVD Kiss My Lips edition of the single. And here, I like the black and white look. As well, BoA sort of has kind of like a heroin chic look going on. And I do like that look, at least in this particular situation. And as well, BoA has found her neck, it looks like. It looks like she found her neck somewhere around the photo studio. So definitely congratulations to BoA on that. This outfit, it's a lot going on with this outfit that's a little, I don't know, it's a bit much for me. I don't know. Like the pattern, I don't know, it's really complex and possibly maybe a little too complex. Perhaps this is the situation where, again, less is more. I think maybe a slightly simpler outfit would work a little better. Since the photo is in black and white and the background is pretty simple, But I kind of can understand where they were going with this, where it's like, okay, since everything else is so simple, let's add some, complexity and some dynamic to the photo, by using the outfit that she's wearing. And I understand where her team is coming from with that, but I just don't think that they pulled it off very well with this outfit. Because I don't know, the outfit, I don't know, it just seems a bit too much. But it's okay. It's not terrible. Um, I think pose. I think that BoA's pose is a little basic. A little modeling 101. Model 101. But it's cool. It's okay. It gets the job done. Um, I wish that BoA's eyes would have been captured a little bit better in this photo. I wish her eyes had a stronger presence in this photo because I think that would help bring everything together a bit better. Um, Her hair looks, slightly disheveled, but it's cool. I actually like that look. I think that look works really well here because the disheveledness of her hair kind of gives the photo some complexity and some dynamic. And it does it in a way that's not overwhelming to the viewer. Despite my criticisms of the photo, I do like it. It kind of looks like you could see this in like a fashion magazine, like some, high fashion, high-end fashion magazine. So, I think overall, respectable job. Let's move on to the final photo. The final single cover is the single cover for the CD plus DVD Lookbook edition. And I'll say I do like the outfit. I feel like the coat might be a bit much. The leather coat that she's wearing, I think it might be a little bit much with everything that's going on here. But overall, it does look like a nice outfit. I think BoA's face has been captured a little better this time around as well. She continues to have her neck and enjoy finding her neck. So again, good for BoA for finding her neck and keeping it. I like that she pulled her hair back, slicked it back so we can see more of her face. I think that was a good call on whoever thought of that idea. I wish I could see her hands and her arms because here it sort of just looks like she doesn't have any hands or arms, and I know she does, but I would like to have seen her arms and her hands, or at least her hands. If I could see her hands, then I can imagine her arms. But since I don't see any of them, I'm like, where your arms at, boy? Where they at? Like, first you found your neck, but now you lost your arms, And in this photo, BoA's hair is, again, disheveled, but it works. It works. I like that look. This look, not quite heroin chic, but sort of maybe heroin chic inspired, perhaps. Whatever it is, I like the look. I wish that BoA's face, while it is captured better, I wish it would have been captured a little bit more, or a little bit better. Just because I see there's some shadowing on BoA's face, and I would like to have seen her face totally captured in this. And as well, stronger eyes in the photo as well. I will say that this is, an edgier look, an edgier, slightly avant-garde look, editorial. And I like it. And, this photo as well, it looks like it could be in, some high-end fashion magazine, as a part of some really edgy editorial, photo editorial. With that being said, here's how I rank the single covers. I rank the CD plus DVD Kiss My Lips edition as the best single cover. And I rank it as the best because I can see BoA's body in totality. I can see her face as well. And while her face, or at least her eyes, could have looked a little better in this photo, I think overall this is a very nice photo. The lighting is really nice, and it's a single cover that would capture your attention if you saw it, and that's important with a single cover. And as well, I like the disheveled hair and the simplicity of the background. The second best single cover is the single cover for the CD plus DVD Lookbook edition. And here, I like the slick back hair. I like the disheveled look of the hair as well. I like the outfit. I would have liked a little bit better lighting, and as well, I would have liked to have seen BoA's arms. But overall, I think this is a very respectable photo. The third best single cover is the CD-only version of the single cover. And while BoA doesn't look, ugly or anything like that, I feel like this is a beauty shot, but it did not capture BoA's true beauty. But what do you guys think? Feel free to comment. Feel free to subscribe. Feel free to give me a thumbs up. Your feedback and support are extremely appreciated and extremely valued. Until the next photo analysis, adios and goodbye for now.